All right, everybody. So today is Thursday. We have a new newscast, and this is what they are saying today.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night as we begin with the fast-moving developments at this hour in that Ebola case here in the U.S. The urgent search underway in and around Dallas for nearly 100 people now who might have had contact with the patient. This is the scene outside the home where the patient's family is now quarantined. Tonight, workers hosing it down. A flyer being handed out to neighbors at that apartment complex with a list of symptoms, the fever, the rash for some people. And that flyer, not the only warning tonight. Right now, United Airlines is contacting hundreds of passengers who were on those flights with the patient. Amid new questions, did the patient reveal all before he boarded that flight? We do have team coverage tonight. Dr. Besser is standing by answering your questions again. But first, ABC Cecilia Vega live in Dallas and leading us off. Cecilia, good evening.
David, good evening to you. That Ebola patient fighting for his life right here behind me. I spoke with his wife who is in quarantine right now. She told me today, I just want my husband to be well. Inside this apartment in Dallas, a family in quarantine. Relatives of the first person ever diagnosed with Ebola in the United States ordered by law not to leave. And we know they've tried. A police officer now.
All right. Now, that issue right there was crazy. You're quarantining an entire family for 21 days in an apartment that still has the sheets that he was laying on when he was contagious in the apartment. So if none of these people actually have it, not only can they not see the light, they can't come outside. But also, I'm pretty sure by the end of this thing, they may have it. So I'll go ahead and play the rest of it for you.
Hose down.
Nobody is supposed to go inside the apartment. They are in their apartment. They cannot come out.
Disease detectives now in a race to answer one question. How many people could one person have infected? Their investigation starts here with Thomas Eric Duncan in isolation at this Dallas hospital. He is patient zero. The CDC now tracking 100 people he may have come into contact with. First, the doctors and nurses who treated him. Then, the 3 paramedics who brought him in by ambulance. That web expanding to anyone Duncan encountered, even briefly, including 8 children. Anyone who visited that apartment. Those at highest risk, his relatives now quarantined inside. About a dozen people will have their temperatures monitored for 21 days. And if any one of them exhibits symptoms, the chain begins again, this time retracing all of their contacts. That web being closely watched inside this emergency operations center in Dallas.
This is an emergency message from the city of Dallas.
Warnings going out by phone to more than 11,000 residents.
While this may be concerning, there is no ongoing danger to your health.
Today, 3 children who came into contact with Duncan sent home from school. One of the students who had close contact with the patient attends this elementary school. That child was in class as recently as Monday, and now everything you see behind me has been disinfected. Even after that scrub down, school attendance down today, a community on edge.
Until it's, all the way dies down, I think every parent's going to be worried.
Especially here in the apartment where Duncan's family is quarantined. The sheets he slept on while sick and contagious still inside in plastic bags. No one has come to collect them. Another disturbing piece of information tonight, Liberian officials telling us that when Thomas Eric Duncan left that country, he filled out a form saying that he had not had contact with any Ebola victims. David, we now know that to be untrue.
That's a big question. Okay, Cecilia leading us off again tonight. Our thanks to you.
All right, so there you have it. It basically went from up to 12 people, 12 to 18 people. They've said 50 people, and now we're at 100 possibly. So I don't know about you guys, but it's getting a little crazy out here in Dallas. As far as the transmission of it, there's been a lot of debate as far as bodily fluids being airborne, different things like that. I don't understand why, if it is only contractable through bodily fluids, which would include coughing, sneezing, vomiting, things like this, why so many people would be affected this fast. It just doesn't make sense to me. They are also stating, that they're quarantining these people. And I mean, I don't know, it just sounds weird to me, like there's some type of alternative motive going on. But once again, I just want to share the newscast with you and what's going on today on the news. And we'll just kind of go from there. And if anything else comes up, I'll post another video. But thank you guys. God bless.